Hello, YouTube land! What is up, everybody? Hope you are doing well. We're back for another Game News Roundup. And as always, these are live streamed on Twitch. Twitch.tv/TrunksWD. Link below in the description and whatnot. If you want to watch me do these live, usually Mondays, usually 6:30, 7 p.m. Eastern start time with the streams. And then on Wednesdays, also around the usual same time. I try to do these Game News Roundup once a week, as long as there's enough interesting gaming news. There will probably be a second one this week, this Wednesday, with Nintendo releasing its earnings report. Will be the middle of the night for me, so I probably will have to get up in the morning a little bit early and report on Nintendo's earnings reports. We'll see what they say with their shipment numbers for the Switch, software sales for the different games, their earnings, their revenue, profits, and whatnot. Anyways. And friends in chat trying to get me to play Final Fantasy XIV. Anyways, starting off with Sony last Thursday, releasing their earnings report for the quarter ending December 31st, 2022 as announced. They have shipped 32.1 million PlayStation 5 consoles. Keyword as always, shipped. Shipped does not mean sell-through. On VGChartz, we report sell-through sales, and there's always a gap. And we're actually seeing lots of reports and looking at retailers. There's actually PS5 stock available out of nowhere. Plus, it can take several weeks to ship consoles across the oceans, by train or whatnot, to the different retailers and warehouses. So, there's that. But with 32.1 million PS5 shipped a lifetime as of December 2022, that does mean Sony shipped 7.1 million units from October to December, which is up 3.2 million from the same quarter in 2021, so pretty much double what it was a year ago. A big improvement. However, compared to the previous generation, the PS4, the PS4 had shipped 8.4 million units in the equivalent same quarter, bringing its lifetime shipments to 37.7 million, which does mean the PS4 is currently shipment-wise 5.6 million units ahead of the PS5. Our sell-through, we have a bit more sell-through with the PS5 than we do with the PS4, so our PS5 versus PS4 sell-through is a bit smaller than 5.6 million. But we will, I believe, be getting to that in a bit. So up here, we'll be going over that. Yeah, and also Sony did announce their own estimates, probably being a bit conservative, that the PS5 sell-through is at 30 million. Sold through, not shipped. So potentially upwards of 2 million consoles on store shelves at the end of the year. There were 86.5 million games sold during the quarter on the PS5 and PS4, which is down 6.2 million from the previous year, and digital sales accounted for 62% of all games sold on the PS5 and PS4. There were 20.8 million first-party games sold on the PS5 and PS4 combined, which is up 9.5 million from 11.3 million a year ago. There were 46.4 million PlayStation Plus subscribers, which is down 1.6 million from 48 million a year ago. There were 112 million monthly active users, which is an increase of 1 million from 111 million a year ago. Sony reported revenue increased 400 billion yen, or $3.3 billion, year over year, to 1.2 billion yen, or nearly $10 billion US dollars. And operating income increased 23 billion yen, $0.18 billion to 116 billion yen, or just $0.9 billion. Operating income pretty much saying profits, more or less. And Sony also announced they have increased their forecast for the current fiscal year, which ends March 31st, 2023, by 1 million units, from 18 million to 19 million. In order for Sony to reach this forecast, they need to ship 6.2 million units from January to March 2023, which would be a record for the quarter. We will see if they are able to hit this goal, this forecast, or not. This would be only 900K below a holiday quarter. But we're seeing a lot of stock available, so it's possible. Again, this is shipment forecast, not sell-through. So we will see. There's always a difference between sell-through and shipped. And Sony also announced that nearly 30% of PS5 monthly active users never used a PlayStation 4. In addition to the nearly 30% of PS5's monthly active users never use a PS4, so with the spread of PS5, the acquisition of new users is progressing. Stated Sony. So, PS5 versus Series X and S worldwide estimates that we currently have, based on the best available data, we have PS5 having surpassed 10 million ahead of the Series X and S. As of after 26 months, we've got our estimates at 30.47 million sell-through for the PS5 at the end of 2022 versus 20.36 million for the Series X and S. The PS5 did grow its lead by 1.2 million in December, and over the last 12 months, last year, grew its lead by 4.18 million. Other comparisons, so generation over generation, so the combined sales of the PS5 and Series X and S versus the combined sales of the PS4 and Xbox One over the last 2 months has greatly fallen behind the previous generation, the PS5 and Series X and S combined. After 26 months, it has fallen to 4.3 million units behind. In December, PS4 and Xbox One sold about 1.9 million units more for the equivalent month. In the last year, PS4 and Xbox One has grown its lead by about 3 million. PS5 and Series X and S, 50.8 million combined sales compared to the 55.1 million for the PS4 and Xbox One. Series X and S is like about 1 million or so ahead of the Xbox One, and PS5 is 4 or 5 million, something like that behind the PS4. We'll get into that actually just now. So PS5 versus PS4 sales comparison. PS5 as well, it's getting further behind, but with Sony able to get more stock. If Sony does reach a 6.2 million forecast, it will greatly decrease the gap between the PS5 and PS4. PS5 will still be behind, but it will, for the first time in a long while, will have decreased. So yeah, after 26 months, the PS4 is 5.45 million units ahead of the PS5. Again, 30.47 million estimated sell-through for the PS5 versus 35.92 million for the PS4. PS4 in the latest month grew its lead by 1.2 million. In the last 12 months, 3.9 million in favor of the PS4. But again, the gap, hopefully in the next quarter, so January, February, and March, the gap will shrink a bit. If Sony is able to reach its forecasts. Oh, hey Brandon, what's up? Yeah, I see where this is going. I see no one has informed me. Yeah, I know of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, I know where you're going with this. Friends are trying to get me to play Final Fantasy XIV. They're trying. They're trying really hard. I don't know. Maybe I'll join in a voice chat when you all play together. Maybe that'll convince me. I don't know.
Say the line, Bart.
Yeah, you see, I've never watched Simpsons, so I don't know what the line is supposed to be. So, yeah. Also, thank you for the 100 biddies, Brandon. Anyways, PS5 versus PS3 has grown its lead to over 10 million units after 26 months. Again, 30.47 million for the PS5 versus 19.63 million for the PS3 after 26 months. PS5, 10.8 million units ahead. Sorry if I'm going through these a little bit quicker. I'll have links below in the description, or just go to VGChartz.com. And you can check out all of these monthly sales comparisons. So yeah, PS5 tracking behind the PS4 a little over 5 million, and then the PS5 tracking over 10 million ahead of the PS3. And now going to Xbox comparison, we've got the Xbox Series X and S versus the Xbox 360, which the 360 is the best-selling Xbox generation. Series X and S is currently 4.46 million units ahead of the 360. In the latest month, the 360 did close the gap by about 400,000. However, over the last year, the Series X and S did grow its lead by 1.38 million units. And now also, as I always like to mention, like the PS4 or the Switch, they were tracking behind the Wii for many years, but the Wii sales quickly tapered off after 3-ish years, while the PS4 and Switch kept on selling for a lot longer.
What does the scouter say about his power level?
It's over 9,000, 68 months.
What do you mean I'm streaking?
Oh.
Trunks one lit shake.
Oh, shit. Thank you, Emerald. How are you doing? We're going over the latest gaming news and sales. Can I do that right? That looks right. I think that's right. I think I can. But as I was trying to say, like the Xbox One at one point was also tracking ahead of the 360, but eventually fell way behind and only sold a little bit over 50 million for the Xbox One compared to 85 or so million for the 360. Now, of course, the Series X and S is tracking ahead of the Xbox One. And at this point, the Xbox One already had its best year, and Xbox One sales did decline from here on out after its 26 months. Well, I do see Series X and S sales increasing this year compared to last year, mainly based off of Starfield. And then as well as, say a bunch of other smaller but decent-sized titles coming out for it as well. Like we got Hi-Fi Rush, and then there's Redfall coming out, and Forza Motorsport all coming out this year. Then there's rumors of Hellblade 2. And we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, I do see the Series X and S outselling lifetime sales of the Xbox One, but probably not catching up to the 360, because if anyone forgets, the Kinect was huge, and it greatly helped 360 sales extend its life for another couple of years, and probably move 10 to 20 million consoles, at least. So yeah, I mean, that's just what I'm guessing. Who knows? It's possible the Series X and S will outsell the 360. I don't know. We'll find out. You never know. The Wii looked like it was going to sell 200 million units after 3 years, but then the sales quickly tapered off and only sold just over a hair over 100 million. And the PS4 was tracking way behind it and ended up selling 117 million. The Switch was tracking behind it and is now over 120 million and counting. The Switch could outsell the PS2, and DS could fly right past them, or it could barely outsell them, or maybe it'll miss them. You never know. We'll see. Depends how strong sales stay over the coming next couple of years. But yeah, that'll do it for the sales comparisons. Take-Two has released the latest earnings report. Grand Theft Auto is a beast. Well, the Grand Theft Auto franchise has topped over 395 million units sold, which is up from 385 million units sold from the previous quarter. So yeah, 395 million units sold are as of December 31st, 2022. Another quarter away, and it'll definitely say most likely be over 400 million sold for the Grand Theft Auto franchise. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a big chunk of that. It is topped 175 million units, which is up from 170 million units from the previous quarter. Red Dead Redemption series has sold over 70 million units, with basically most of that being Red Dead 2, which has sold over 50 million units, which is up from 46 million from the end of September. So 4 million units sold in the holiday quarter. NBA 2K series, 130 million units sold, which is the same as the previous quarter. Borderlands is over 78 million, which is up a million from the previous quarter. But yeah, rumor, also Emerald biscuits, spinach, and noodles. Yum. That sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. Enjoy. I had a turkey and cheese sandwich and a salad for dinner. And some Doritos, because why not? If you're wondering. Rumor that Coalition has moved on fully to develop Gears 6 as its next game. This is from reporter Jeff Grubb during a live stream, saying the Coalition had canceled 2 projects that were in development. It is now fully focused on Gears 6 as its next game. So Jeff Grubb stated they have canceled the smaller project as well as another project. So there have been 2 games canceled. They're referring to the Coalition, developer behind Gears of War, Gears 4 and 5. It was Epic Games who did the original trilogy. This was all reflected in the layoffs that happened at Microsoft, which did hit the Coalition a little bit. The studio is now going to move on fully to Gears 6. I say now, it is likely moved on to Gears 6 in full over the course of last year, but definitely that will be their next game. So maybe we'll be seeing Gears 6 the next couple of years, maybe 2025. End of 2024, sometime in 2025, we'll see. The Coalition has been lead developer of the Gears franchise since 2015 with the release of Gears Ultimate, the remaster of the original Gears game. And also they released Gears 4 in 2016 and Gears 5 in 2019. They also worked with Epic on the Unreal Engine 5 demo, The Matrix Awakens, which released in 2021. If anyone's planning to get PlayStation VR 2, what is probably going to be the main big title at launch, Horizon Call of the Mountain has gone gold, meaning the main development of the game is completely done. It'll just be the developers working on finding bug fixes and fixing bugs for a day one patch. And, you know, future patches for other bug fixes. But the main game is all done, ready to go. Which is good, because PSVR 2 comes out on February 26th, along with Horizon Call of the Mountain and a bunch of other games as well. And that was announced today. Last of Us Part 1, which is available on the PS5, the PC version has been delayed from March 3rd to March 28th. Message from Naughty Dog. We initially announced Last of Us Part 1 release will be March 6th, but we've decided to push this launch date out just a few weeks. It will now be released on March 28th. We at the studio have been completely blown away by the outpouring of love and support for The Last of Us these last few weeks. Hearing your love for the HBO adaptation, seeing your beautiful photo mode shots, and learning about how the world and characters our studio created nearly a decade ago continue to reach new and old fans alike. So, Last of Us Part 1 is available on the PS5, but will be coming out on PC now on March 28th, which I believe is just after the HBO series wraps up its final episode for the first season. And speaking of the HBO series, it keeps on growing. Every debut night, premiere night, for each episode has had more viewers. The fourth episode had 7.5 million viewers on Sunday night, which is up 17% from episode 3, and up 60% compared to the debut episode. So more people are tuning in, liking, and they want to tune in faster, so more people are tuning in on the opening night. The first episode had 4.7 million viewers in its first night. Second night had 5.7 million, and the third night had 6.4 million. And the series has been renewed for a second season, which we have gone over before. And also this, if you are watching it, this Friday's episode comes out on Friday instead of Sunday. At least on HBO Max and HBO On Demand. I think because the Super Bowl is Sunday. I think that's the main reason they want to have it come out 2 days early, because most people will be watching the Super Bowl. So if you have HBO Max or HBO On Demand, it will be available. A couple more things, and yes, here we go, the usual Activision Blizzard. European Union regulators have issued a formal antitrust warning to Microsoft over its Activision Blizzard acquisition. According to 3 people to the matter who spoke with Politico. And a Microsoft spokesperson basically confirmed this. Hold on, we got in chat. I can't believe I got to confirm a second season. I mean, I'm not surprised, Emerald. Think about the Halo TV series. It was not great. I'm a big Halo fan, and I watched it. I'm like, it was mediocre. They renewed it for a second season before the first episode even aired, so I'm not really surprised. I was kind of surprised it didn't get renewed before the first episode came out for Last of Us, but hey. If it was Netflix, it'd already be shot and dragged out back. Yeah, right? God, Netflix and killing shows is so bad. Watch Red vs. Blue. I hate to say, Red vs. Blue hasn't aged that great. For the most part. I don't know. I used to be a big Rooster Teeth fan, and I don't know, when all the crap that's happened in Rooster Teeth the last few years, or at least the things that have come to light, yeah. Anyways, Microsoft is confident that it can address the concerns by the European Union regulators over the Activision Blizzard deal. So yeah, European Union regulators have issued a formal antitrust warning. But a Microsoft spokesperson said, "We are listening carefully to the European Commission's concerns and are confident we can address them." And also this formal antitrust warning from the EU was to be expected. And if Microsoft addresses all of the issues and everything, it's probably going to be down to, like, we'll have to keep Call of Duty, whatever, multi-platform or something. I don't know. Something like that is what my guess is what it'll be. Or maybe other games as well, Activision Blizzard, at least games that are already multi-platform will have to remain multi-platform, maybe for like a decade or something. I don't know. We'll find out hopefully later this week. I don't know. This thing has been dragged on for over a year at this point. It's getting ridiculous. Should have been approved or blocked, sometime last year. But here we are, February 6th, 2023. Yeah. Also about, or another report, according to a report from the New York Times, Microsoft is reportedly expecting UK regulators, the Competition and Markets Authority. It's over 9,000! Oh my goodness.
What, 9,000?
Holy shit, Dave. Thank you for the resub. That gets me back up to 9 subs. I do appreciate it. And using your Prime sub, too. Right, it does say that. I'm blind, apparently. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime sub, Dave. On me. You could use it on anybody, but use it on a little old me. Anyways. Yeah, actually, there's not much more to say about this one, but yeah. New York Times reporting, yeah, they're expecting UK to oppose the deal. And then I guess, much like with the European Commission, Microsoft will have to offer remedies and see if the UK agrees to them or not. And then if they don't, then, well, I guess Microsoft would have to take them to court, is my guess, to try to get it to pass. Is my thinking. But yeah, Microsoft is hoping it'll be able to convince the UK regulators and European regulators to accept its concessions and approve the acquisition. There's always something going on. Who knows? Maybe by the end of this week we'll have an idea if something is blocked completely or is approved. Though if it's blocked, then Microsoft will just sue or take them to court or whatever. I don't know. It's all just posturing. We know this deal is going through. Yeah, probably. But everyone has to. Yeah. I mean, the main thing is, the worry is that it's going to give Microsoft an unfair advantage in the gaming market. And if you look at the sales-wise, Sony is so far ahead, like Nintendo's so far ahead, that, I don't know, even if Call of Duty, even if every Activision Blizzard game became exclusive on Xbox and PC, you know, immediately, you're going to shift 10, even maybe 20 million gamers on PlayStation to Xbox, and that would still, at most, bring them on par with each other sales-wise. So, I don't know. Even with the deal, I'm pretty sure Sony still pockets more exclusive. Well, yeah, that's not wrong for the most part. I mean, Microsoft say they have pocketed some smaller, a lot of indie games and some bigger games, but Sony, yeah, they have pocketed, was it Final Fantasy 16, Forspoken, which I know wasn't received very well. Okay, it's a lot of Square Enix games. And they did pocket, what was it, Deathloop from a Bethesda studio, from Arcane. And Tango Gameworks is Ghostwire Tokyo. 1 year time exclusive. I'm literally just willy waving at this. Yeah, I mean, we'll figure out what's going on. I mean, it's been confirmed to be improved in Chile, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and Serbia. But of course, US, UK, European Union. Those are the big three. Obviously, there's other places we need approval. But Microsoft is so far behind in like China or Japan, I don't see those having issues passing. They're so far behind that it wouldn't make much of a difference, even if the games became exclusive, because, you know, Call of Duty is not... It may be the biggest one of the biggest gaming franchises, but it is tiny in popularity in Japan. So, I don't know. We'll find out. If it passes, it passes. If it ends up getting blocked, you know, we will see. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. It is the biggest gaming acquisition by a lot. It's the biggest acquisition Microsoft has ever done. But it doesn't really give a monopoly. Considering, I mean, it's a different government now. At least in the US. I don't know about in the UK or Europe. But, like, Disney was able to acquire Fox and give them, they own, like, a third of the movie industry. Or it's a big chunk of the movie industry that they own. Or Ticketmaster, which has an actual monopoly on ticket sales for concerts. Which, yeah, that's still good. If anyone has seen concert prices lately, holy shit, they are ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I know, because I like concerts, and there's some concerts coming up, and I'm just like, holy crap, that's a lot more than I paid last time, and oh my goodness. Concert prices have gone up 2, 3, 4-fold. It is ridiculous. But this, I don't know. I would say it would maybe at most bring Microsoft on par with Sony, console sales-wise. But obviously we know Microsoft is more focused on, they want to expand in the mobile market, they want to grow Game Pass, they want to expand outside of just the console market. Even though console market is still their biggest, right now, I think their biggest portion of their overall gaming revenue. But we'll see come in the future how things go. But I think that's going to about do it for today's Game News Roundup. As always, if you enjoyed, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs, and, I've been 300 away or whatever it is for a while now. So, anyways, Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time for another Game News Roundup. Take care, everybody.